Hi, I'm Sam, and together we read the Word of God, seeking His will for our lives. We'll read the entire Bible in a year using the 5-day Bible reading program. This is week 14, day 1. Today, we'll read Joshua chapters 14 through 17 and Luke chapter 17. Here we go. Let's read. Joshua chapter 14. These are the inheritances which the children of Israel took in the land of Canaan, which Eleazar the priest, Joshua the son of Nun, and the heads of the fathers' houses of the tribes of the children of Israel distributed to them, by the lot of their inheritance, as the Lord commanded by Moses, for the 9 tribes and for the half-tribe. For Moses had given the inheritance of the 2 tribes and the half-tribe beyond the Jordan, but to the Levites he gave no inheritance among them. For the children of Joseph were 2 tribes, Manasseh and Ephraim. They gave no portion to the Levites in the land, except cities to dwell in, with their pasture lands for their livestock and for their property. The children of Israel did as the Lord commanded Moses, and they divided the land. Then the children of Judah came near to Joshua in Gilgal. Caleb the son of Jephunneh the Kenizzite said to him, "You know the thing that the Lord spoke to Moses the man of God concerning me, and concerning you in Kadesh Barnea. I was 40 years old when Moses the servant of the Lord sent me from Kadesh Barnea to spy out the land. I brought him word again as it was in my heart. Nevertheless, my brothers who went up with me made the heart of the people melt, but I wholly followed the Lord my God. Moses swore on that day, saying, 'Surely the land where you walked shall be an inheritance to you and to your children forever, because you have wholly followed the Lord my God.' Now, behold, the Lord has kept me alive, as he spoke, these 45 years, from the time that the Lord spoke this word to Moses, while Israel walked in the wilderness. Now behold, I am 85 years old today. As yet I am as strong today as I was in the day that Moses sent me. As my strength was then, even so is my strength now for war, to go out and to come in. Now therefore give me this hill country, of which the Lord spoke in that day. For you heard in that day how the Anakim were there, and great and fortified cities. It may be that the Lord will be with me, and I shall drive them out, as the Lord said." Joshua blessed him, and he gave Hebron to Caleb the son of Jephunneh for an inheritance. Therefore Hebron became the inheritance of Caleb the son of Jephunneh the Kenizzite to this day, because he followed the Lord, the God of Israel, wholeheartedly. Now the name of Hebron before was Kiriath Arba, after the greatest man among the Anakim. Then the land had rest from war. Chapter 15. The lot for the tribe of the children of Judah according to their families was to the border of Edom, even to the wilderness of Zin southward, at the uttermost part of the south. Their south border was from the uttermost part of the Salt Sea, from the bay that looks southward. And it went out southward of the ascent of Akrabim, and passed along to Zin, and went up by the south of Kadesh Barnea, and passed along by Hezron, went up to Edar, and turned toward Karka. And it passed along to Asmon, went out at the brook of Egypt, and the border ended at the sea. This shall be your south border. The east border was the Salt Sea, even to the end of the Jordan. The border of the north quarter was from the bay of the sea at the end of the Jordan. The border went up to Beth Hoglah, and passed along by the north of Beth Araba. And the border went up to the stone of Bohan the son of Reuben. The border went up to Deber from the valley of Achor, and so northward, looking toward Gilgal, that faces the ascent of Adamim, which is on the south side of the river. The border passed along to the waters of En-Shemesh, and ended at En-Rogel. The border went up by the valley of the son of Hinnom to the side of the Jebusite, also called Jerusalem, southward. And the border went up to the top of the mountain that lies before the valley of Hinnom westward, which is at the farthest part of the valley of Rephaim northward. The border extended from the top of the mountain to the spring of the waters of Nephtoah, and went out to the cities of Mount Ephron, and the border extended to Baalah, also called Kiriath Jearim. And the border turned about from Baalah westward to Mount Seir, and passed along to the side of Mount Jearim, also called Chesalon, on the north, and went down to Beth Shemesh, and passed along by Timnah. And the border went out to the side of Ekron northward, and the border extended to Shikkeron, and passed along to Mount Baalah, and went out to Jabneel, and the goings out of the border were at the sea. The west border was to the shore of the great sea. This is the border of the children of Judah according to their families. He gave to Caleb the son of Jephunneh a portion among the children of Judah, according to the commandment of the Lord to Joshua, even Kiriath Arba, named after the father of Anak, also called Hebron. Caleb drove out the 3 sons of Anak, Sheshai, and Ahiman, and Talmai, the children of Anak. He went up against the inhabitants of Debir. Now the name of Debir before was Kiriath Sepher. Caleb said, He who strikes Kiriath Sepher and takes it, to him I will give Achsah my daughter as wife. Othniel the son of Kenaz, the brother of Caleb, took it, and he gave him Achsah his daughter as wife. When she came, she had him ask her father for a field. She got off her donkey, and Caleb said, What do you want? She said, Give me a blessing. Because you have set me in the land of the south, give me also springs of water. So he gave her the upper springs and the lower springs. This is the inheritance of the tribe of the children of Judah according to their families. The farthest cities of the tribe of the children of Judah toward the border of Edom in the south were Kabzeel, Eder, Jagur, Kinnah, Dimonah, Adadah, Kadesh, Hazor, Ithnan, Ziph, Telem, Bealoth, Hazor Hadadah, Kerioth Hezron, also called Hazor, Amam, Shema, Molodah, Hazar Gada, Heshbon, Beth Pelet, Hazar Shul, Beersheba, Biziothia, Bela, Ayam, Ezem, Eltolad, Chesel, Hormah, Ziklag, Madmana, Sansana, Lebaoth, Shilhim, Ain, and Rimmon. All the cities are 29, with their villages. In the lowland, Eshtaol, Zorah, Ashna, Zanoah, En-Ganim, Tapua, Enam, Jarmuth, Adullam, Soko, Azekah, Shearaim, Adathaim, and Gederah, or Gederothaim, 14 cities with their villages. Zenon, Hadashah, Migdal-Gad, Dilion, Mizpah, Joktheel, Lachish, Bozkath, Eglon, Kabon, Lamam, Chitlish, Gederoth, Beth Dagon, Naamah, and Makkedah, 16 cities with their villages. Libnah, Ether, Ashan, Iptha, Ashnan, Nezib, Keilah, Akzib, and Mareshah, 9 cities with their villages. Ekron with its towns and its villages. From Ekron even to the sea, all that were by the side of Ashdod with their villages. Ashdod, its towns and its villages. Gaza, its towns and its villages, to the brook of Egypt, and to the great sea with its coastline. In the hill country, Shamir, Jatir, Sako, Dana, Kiriath-Sana, which is Debir, Anab, Eshtemoh, Anam, Goshen, Halan, and Gilah, 11 cities with their villages. Arab, Duma, Eshan, Janam, Beth Tapua, Aphekah, Humdah, Kiriath Arba, also called Hebron, and Zior, 9 cities with their villages. Maon, Carmel, Ziph, Juttah, Jezreel, Jokdeam, Zanoah, Cain, Gibeah, and Timnah, 10 cities with their villages. Halhul, Beth-Zur, Gedor, Mearath, Beth-Anath, and Eltekon, 6 cities with their villages. Kiriath-Baal, also called Kiriath-Jearim, and Rabbah, 2 cities with their villages. In the wilderness, Beth-Araba, Middin, Sakaka, Nibshan, the city of salt, and En-Gedi, 6 cities with their villages. As for the Jebusites, the inhabitants of Jerusalem, the children of Judah couldn't drive them out, but the Jebusites live with the children of Judah at Jerusalem to this day. Chapter 16. The lot came out for the children of Joseph from the Jordan at Jericho, at the waters of Jericho on the east, even the wilderness, going up from Jericho through the hill country to Bethel. It went out from Bethel to Luz, and passed along to the border of the Archites to Adaroth. And it went down westward to the border of the Japhletites, to the border of Beth Horon the lower, and on to Gezer, and ended at the sea. The children of Joseph, Manasseh and Ephraim, took their inheritance. This was the border of the children of Ephraim according to their families. The border of their inheritance eastward was Adaroth Adar, to Beth Horon the upper. The border went out westward at Mikmethath on the north. The border turned about eastward to Taanath Shiloh, and passed along it on the east of Genoa. It went down from Genoa to Adaroth to Naarah, reached to Jericho, and went out at the Jordan. From Tappuah the border went along westward to the brook of Cana, and ended at the sea. This is the inheritance of the tribe of the children of Ephraim according to their families, together with the cities which were set apart for the children of Ephraim in the middle of the inheritance of the children of Manasseh, all the cities with their villages. They didn't drive out the Canaanites who lived in Gezer, but the Canaanites dwell in the territory of Ephraim to this day, and have become servants to do forced labor. Chapter 17. This was the lot for the tribe of Manasseh, for he was the firstborn of Joseph. As for Machir, the firstborn of Manasseh, the father of Gilead, because he was a man of war, therefore he had Gilead and Bashan. So this was for the rest of the children of Manasseh according to their families. For the children of Abiezer, for the children of Helek, for the children of Azriel, for the children of Shechem, for the children of Hepher, and for the children of Shemida. These were the male children of Manasseh the son of Joseph according to their families. But Zelophehad, the son of Hepher, the son of Gilead, the son of Machir, the son of Manasseh, had no sons, but daughters. These are the names of his daughters: Mahlah, Noah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Tirzah. They came to Eleazar the priest, and to Joshua the son of Nun, and to the princes, saying, The Lord commanded Moses to give us an inheritance among our brothers. Therefore, according to the commandment of the Lord, he gave them an inheritance among the brothers of their father. 10 parts fell to Manasseh, in addition to the land of Gilead and Bashan, which is beyond the Jordan, because the daughters of Manasseh had an inheritance among his sons. The land of Gilead belonged to the rest of the sons of Manasseh. The border of Manasseh was from Asher to Mikmethath, which is before Shechem. The border went along to the right hand, to the inhabitants of En-Tappuah. The land of Tappuah belonged to Manasseh, but Tappuah on the border of Manasseh belonged to the children of Ephraim. The border went down to the brook of Cana, southward of the brook. These cities belonged to Ephraim among the cities of Manasseh. The border of Manasseh was on the north side of the brook, and ended at the sea. Southward it was Ephraim's, and northward it was Manasseh's, and the sea was his border. They reached to Asher on the north, and to Issachar on the east. Manasseh had 3 heights in Issachar, in Asher Beth-shean and its towns, and Ibleam and its towns, and the inhabitants of Dor and its towns, and the inhabitants of Endor and its towns, and the inhabitants of Taanach and its towns, and the inhabitants of Megiddo and its towns. Yet the children of Manasseh couldn't drive out the inhabitants of those cities, but the Canaanites would dwell in that land. When the children of Israel had grown strong, they put the Canaanites to forced labor, and didn't utterly drive them out. The children of Joseph spoke to Joshua, saying, Why have you given me just 1 lot and 1 part for an inheritance, since we are a numerous people, because the Lord has blessed us so far? Joshua said to them, If you are a numerous people, go up to the forest, and clear land for yourself there in the land of the Perizzites and of the Rephaim, since the hill country of Ephraim is too narrow for you. The children of Joseph said, The hill country is not enough for us. All the Canaanites who dwell in the land of the valley have chariots of iron, both of those who are in Beth-shean and its towns, and those who are in the valley of Jezreel. Joshua spoke to the house of Joseph, that is, to Ephraim and to Manasseh, saying, You are a numerous people and have great power. You shall not have 1 lot only, but the hill country shall be yours. Although it is a forest, you shall cut it down, and its farthest extent shall be yours. For you shall drive out the Canaanites, though they have chariots of iron, and though they are strong. And now Luke chapter 17. He said to the disciples, "It is impossible that no occasions of stumbling should come, but woe to him through whom they come. It would be better for him if a millstone were hung around his neck and he were thrown into the sea, rather than that he should cause one of these little ones to stumble. Be careful. If your brother sins against you, rebuke him. If he repents, forgive him. If he sins against you 7 times in the day, and 7 times returns, saying, 'I repent,' you shall forgive him." The apostles said to the Lord, "Increase our faith." The Lord said, "If you had faith like a grain of mustard seed, you would tell this sycamore tree, 'Be uprooted and be planted in the sea,' and it would obey you. But who is there among you, having a servant plowing or keeping sheep, that will say when he comes in from the field, 'Come immediately and sit down at the table'? Wouldn't he rather tell him, 'Prepare my supper, clothe yourself properly, and serve me while I eat and drink? Afterward you shall eat and drink'? Does he thank that servant because he did the things that were commanded? I think not. Even so you also, when you have done all the things that are commanded you, say, 'We are unworthy servants. We have done our duty.'" As he was on his way to Jerusalem, he was passing along the borders of Samaria and Galilee. As he entered into a certain village, 10 men who were lepers met him, who stood at a distance. They lifted up their voices, saying, "Jesus, Master, have mercy on us." When he saw them, he said to them, "Go and show yourselves to the priests." As they went, they were cleansed. One of them, when he saw that he was healed, turned back, glorifying God with a loud voice. He fell on his face at Jesus' feet, giving him thanks, and he was a Samaritan. Jesus answered, "Weren't the 10 cleansed? But where are the 9? Were there none found who returned to give glory to God except this foreigner?" Then he said to him, "Get up and go your way. Your faith has healed you." Being asked by the Pharisees when God's kingdom would come, he answered them, "God's kingdom doesn't come with observation. Neither will they say, 'Look here,' or 'Look there,' for behold, God's kingdom is within you." He said to the disciples, "The days will come when you will desire to see one of the days of the Son of Man, and you will not see it. They will tell you, 'Look here,' or 'Look there.' Don't go away or follow after them, for as the lightning, when it flashes out of one part under the sky, shines to another part under the sky, so will the Son of Man be in his day. But first he must suffer many things and be rejected by this generation. As it was in the days of Noah, even so it will also be in the days of the Son of Man. They ate, they drank, they married, and they were given in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ship, and the flood came and destroyed them all. Likewise, even as it was in the days of Lot, they ate, they drank, they bought, they sold, they planted, they built. But in the day that Lot went out from Sodom, it rained fire and sulfur from the sky and destroyed them all. It will be the same way in the day that the Son of Man is revealed. In that day, he who will be on the housetop and his goods in the house, let him not go down to take them away. Let him who is in the field likewise not turn back. Remember Lot's wife. Whoever seeks to save his life loses it, but whoever loses his life preserves it. I tell you, in that night there will be 2 people in one bed. One will be taken and the other will be left. There will be 2 grinding grain together. One will be taken and the other will be left." They answering asked him, "Where, Lord?" He said to them, "Where the body is, there the vultures will also be gathered together." All right, that's our reading for today. Thank you so much for joining. Would you please like and subscribe and join again? We'll be here tomorrow, God willing, and continue on in our journey here through the Bible. Have a very blessed day.